tilted any?
No, I think so. I think it's good.
Your face looks pensive.
It's it's odd because looking through that mirror, everything's tiny.
Yeah, we're small people.
You know what? I think it's just because it's farther away. I don't know. It's odd. Like it's like tiny.
Welcome to Tablenauts. My name is Max.
I'm Doolin, dang it.
And here in a few days, we will be attending GenCon.
Yeah.
And we're stoked about it. And we wanted to tell you about the games that we are most interested in buying. So like things we're going to try and rush out and acquire right away. There's plenty of games that we want to demo and try, but that won't be available for sale. And plenty more that we probably want to buy and we'll pick up when we get there. But these are what we have on our mind immediately. Thursday, the day we get there. When I finish watching Oppenheimer, where are we running to buy games?
Yeah. And on top of that, I think it's going to be a really good way for us to re-kickstart our love for board games because July has been a mess. And I know that you guys are like, where the heck have they been? I know, like, most of you guys...
Where have you been?
You can't live your life unless you have Tablenauts videos.
That's right, yeah.
So, like...
We have really... I'm sorry.
It's like that SpongeBob episode where they're in his brain, it's like, ah! Like, they're all panicking.
What's my name? Where's Tablenauts?
You threw out the name!
Should be seeing more consistent videos probably the week after Gen Con. Okay, like give us 1 week after Gen Con and we'll get started for you.
On top of it, if you are there at Gen Con, come and say hi to us.
Yeah.
Come and ask us to play Terror Escape. I don't know. What game? Any game you have. That'd be great.
That'd be good.
I don't think it's gonna be there.
You'll see me, Doolin, Jash, and Kenny from the Tablenauts folks.
Emily will be there. At least 1 day, maybe 2 days.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Danielle's coming or not, but perhaps. But either way.
Then my dad is gonna be there
Is
one
he?
day. Yeah.
Nice.
So come and say hi to him. He looks like me. He's my dad. He's not my brother, even though some people think he looks like my brother.
Really?
Yeah, it makes me sad.
Anyways, let's talk about the games that we're excited about. Now, I only have 4. Now, this is typical, right? Welcome back. It's been a minute, but if you don't remember, I'm the guy who hates board games.
And I get way too excited about everything.
Excited about it all.
Yeah.
So we'll start with me. I don't know how many you've got, but of course we are.
I'm not going to say all of them.
Again, limiting this to the ones that we think we should actually be able to purchase. And I'm going to start with the pensive one.
Ooh.
This is not one that I'm like, yes, I want this so bad.
Okay.
But it is a game that I like, and you'll be able to speak to this. It's My Island. By Cosmos.
Which is on my list. I'm deleting it right now.
Okay.
Boop, 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 boop,
This is, of course,
done.
designed by Reiner Knizia. It's the sequel to My City, which we have the opportunity to play with Kenny, but fully on Board Game Arena.
Which is a great way to play that game.
Agreed, and that's where the pensiveness comes into play. I'm not sure if My Island will become available on Board Game Arena, or if it does, if it'll be anytime soon.
Yeah.
If I get Danielle interested in this, which we played the first 4 or 5 missions of My City before just kind of falling off, but if this is quite a bit better of a game than My City was, which we already enjoyed, I can see this being one that we just kind of like leave under the bed, and at nighttime we just pull it out, play a round or 2, move on. So I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm just not 100% running to Cosmos's booth to snatch it. What are you excited about?
So my number 5 is actually the one that I will be buying first, and I almost don't want to put this video out before Gen Con happens because I don't want other people to race.
Yeah, but we'll be there first thing Thursday. Like, I can go to Gen Con before Oppenheimer even.
All right, well,
we'll be there first thing Thursday morning.
I just hope that this does not sell out because I've wanted this game since I demoed it at the last Gen Con. It's been almost a whole year since I demoed this. Anyway, it's fit to print. Fit to print.
Yeah, I do.
By Flat Out Games, which is one of they're just batting 1,000 right now in terms of like games coming out that I love. Verdant's great. Cascadia is okay, but Calico is great.
Yeah.
I love even their games that aren't a part of the Flat Out AEG combo. But this one is. It's the 4th, I think, in that grouping of games. I think it's connected with AEG.
I have no idea.
Actually, you know what?
I don't think
we'll
it is.
Scratch that out. We'll scratch that out.
Okay.
But this game is great, and we played this with... Thank you, Max. We played this with Michelle and actually her husband, Jim. Yeah, Jim. And Emily and I both loved this game. Immediately were like, we have to get this. When can we get our hands on it? They were like, you're going to have to wait a year.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, great. But now that we've waited a year, it's supposedly going to be available.
And if it is, I'm excited to play it. Like, this will be one that I want to go to the open play area and play
Oh,
with you.
1,000%.
I've not played it yet.
Immediately punched it out. Boom, we're going to be playing it. And it's going to be Ruckus, I think. You're going to be like, "Rah, grab everything," because it's real time. Yeah. But that is my first game that I will mention.
Nice. The next one that I am excited about, which this will be like a rush in and purchase, even if it's not for me, I've been tasked with the job of rushing in and purchasing it, and that is Last Light, which is designed by Roy Cannaday of the Dice Tower, and it is published by Grey Fox Games. And this is, I've honestly intentionally stayed kind of in the dark on this one. Like when I see a movie that I really want to watch, I kind of avoid trailers. And this is kind of the same boat where I know it's supposed to be a 4X game, space game, that can be played with a very, with a good variety of player counts in a short amount of time. Like you can finish an 8-player game in 60 to 90 minutes. And that just sounds great to me. Not that I'd ever have the 8-player game, but like, to even play it 3, 4, 5, whatever. And I honestly don't know a lot about it other than it has like these little marble ships or planets. But Kyle has
they look really good.
They do. And I think only the deluxe version is going to be available at Gen Con. And I believe there's only like 20 copies per day. So like they're distributing it
80.
like that. So we got to rush in and try and get a copy of it. But this is Last Light. Really want to try it out. Even if I don't get myself a copy, I have a mission. I have a mission to accomplish for our buddy Kyle.
Spending other people's money.
That's right.
Go.
I love doing
Woo,
that.
Kyle!
What he didn't know that in the fine print, I agreed to a 10% commission, finder's fee. So, you know, as expensive as Last Light is.
Throwing all those deluxe stuff.
I
get more money.
Give me everything. It just comes out of Kyle's paycheck, which he doesn't get.
He does from someone.
Yeah, that's true. What's the next game, Doolin?
Next game is a game that you're actually currently playing with me on BGA, but I cannot wait to get my own copy
I'm excited about this too.
Because it's actually not been available like anywhere.
Here, at least.
I mean, I know it's available abroad, but it will be available finally in the States as of Gen Con. And I mean, I don't even think it will come to retail for like many months later, just because it's hard to, I don't know, they just did not make enough for the demand. But this is Sea Salt and Paper, which is a game that Emily and
Pandasaurus, right?
It will be produced by Pandasaurus.
North America?
In North America.
Okay.
Or
in the United States, at least? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to be rushing to Fit to Print, then immediately over to Pandasaurus to get my copy of Sea Salt and Paper, because I need both these games really bad. But I learned this from Jeff and Jamie while Emily and I were visiting in Canada. We played this game probably more than any other game regularly. Like, we were just like, oh, we got to get that game out and play it again. And then when I realized it was on BGA, I've just been in games all the time because it's quick to take your turns. It's a really, like, it's sometimes kind of mean, especially with the do I end the game, do I not end the game mechanic. And so that kind of reminds me of even like Air, Land, and Sea with like the push your luck of that. But at the same time, just the card and set collection idea of it and being able to steal from people and like all of that, it's just so fun. And I can't describe this as anything other than a set collection mean game that's fun. And it's one that everyone I've played with has come away thinking this is good.
I'm literally like, what, a third of the way through my first play?
Yeah.
So like, you're being like, oh, it's me, and I'm like, is it? I didn't even know it was me. And like, I haven't gotten. It's just I don't know what I'm doing.
I think here's the thing. You because it's first to, like, you play a number of rounds. It's not just somebody wins.
It's like first to 10 each round, and then 35 total or something.
It's first to 30, and it actually can go on all the way to 30 in the first round if you wanted to, if nobody ends the game. But I think Jeff and I took first and second of the first round, and then have been mean to each other the next round. And so you, because
I jumped up into first,
and so now we've been being mean to you.
No, I didn't even know you could be mean. I didn't know anything was happening.
Yeah, if you play a shark and a diver, you get to steal a card at random from the other people. So, yeah.
It's good to know that. Actually, Jeff, if you're watching, he did give a very good write-up in the Discord, but it just doesn't translate one-to-one until you kind of understand what's happening.
I think playing this in person, you're going to get this, like, oh, this is good.
Oh, I'm enjoying it already because it's such a simplistic game. It's like, take one card from either of these discard piles, or draw two, pick one from the draw pile. And then they each have set collection bonuses or abilities, but yeah, I'm very much enjoying so far. So looking forward to it.
Awesome.
The next on my list is The Search for the Lost Species, and this is by Renegade Games. It is the direct sequel to The Search for Planet X, which is just a pure deduction game, one that I very much liked. I think I bought it, played it quite a bit, but then got rid of it, just because I think Awkward Guests is like the best.
Yeah.
And I'm just trimming down my collection to not need a ton. But they're not samey, and like I have been kind of missing that. So I'm really hoping.
I've never played Search for Planet X.
Oh, it's great.
I really want to try it.
It's very good. I'm really hoping that The Search for Lost Species is just an evolution of The Search for Planet X, and it's a sequel that actually is better. We'll see. I have no idea what it'll actually end up being, but I'm interested in trying it out. I like the theme of trying to find this lost species, and of course Planet X was just a really, really, really good game. It's like app assisted, so you can do a lot of cool things with that. Very much looking forward to it. We'll see if I don't know if this one I'm bringing home, but it's definitely one of the ones I'm most interested in.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I heard the Brothers Murph actually talk about this.
Oh,
They mentioned how cool like the theme is with the gameplay, and it does seem, I don't know, based off of what they were talking about, it does seem like it is different enough.
Okay.
To where if you wanted to own both, you could.
Yeah, and honestly, that might be a concern for me even, and not that that's a bad thing. I don't think sequels should be just straight direct sequel.
Yeah.
Here's more content. I mean, that's cool for expansions and stuff, but I like that they're changing it up. But it just makes me wonder, like, we had a similar experience recently with with Lords of Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
Where I was like,
I'd
rather just play Lords of Hellas. And so it does kind of like, it's not a concern. It's just like, I'm curious which one I will like more, because I certainly don't think I need to own both of the Search for series. It's just if Search for Lost Species is better than Planet X, then I'll try and acquire and bring that one home. If not, I'll look out for a copy of Planet X to reacquire. But yep, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. My number 3 is one that I'm not worried that you guys are going to buy out before we get there, because I just know it won't. It's not a popular game. I've never heard any other channel talk about these sets of games yet. All I know is that Emily and I
talk about it.
Yeah, Emily and I loved it. It was in Emily's top games of 2022. It was in my honorable mentions. It just barely missed. But this is from Studio H, which have been also killing it. We've loved a lot of their games lately. This is Suspects Round 2, where there's going to be 3 whole new missions with the same central character, and this is one of the best, at least one was, one of the best like puzzle-y, solving a mystery style games that you can play, almost escape room in a box like. And honestly, I'm discovering as Emily and I play through more like exit games, unlock games, that the Suspects.
Keep going.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. The Suspects game is just that good. Like it's one that if you like that style of game, you need to try. And they're coming out with 2 at GenCon, and then 3 by the end of the month of September. And I don't know why they're putting them out both that closely. I think all of them became available in Europe pretty quickly together, and they're finally getting translated. But I do know that 2 is coming out at Gen Con, and then 3 I'll be looking forward to purchasing later. So
I just grabbed something off the shelf, and then also remembered another thing I should have grabbed off the shelf, which I didn't do. But this wasn't. I'll get it in a minute. Okay. This wasn't the one this was not on my list, and I have not played it. This is not an endorsement of this, but it is I'm really excited about this, and I think you can buy it at Gen Con.
I actually know that.
In limited copies.
Maggie and Amy from Think Dreamer mentioned this actually.
And that's Cosmic Frog Find Muck, which is an expansion for Cosmic Frog, which is one of my favorite games. I adore Cosmic Frog. We have not yet had the opportunity to play this expansion, but if, like me, you very much like Cosmic Frog, I think you should seek this out. I'm not sure how many copies Devious Weasel is going to have brought to the convention, so I think it's going to be one that you might want to get your hands on. I can show you the contents of it. It's just
you scared the crap out of Draco.
Cards, rulebook, dice, and muck. So yeah.
There goes the muck.
There goes the muck. We're going to have to find it. All right, Dooley.
We're already playing.
What's next on your list?
All right, my next one
I'm gonna go find the muck, and
It's right
also the other game that I was going to get off the shelf too. I'm just adding to my list because his list is too long.
I feel like I'm cheat. No, I've culled mine down a little bit, Max. I think I'm only gonna have 6 that I'm gonna mention today, but I've been cheating. I've been playing a lot of these games already, thanks to friends who have copies of them. But this next one is actually the newest game coming from Plaid Hat Games, which should be available at the convention. I know it just started coming to people who have pre-ordered it, but it will be available at the convention. And this is Freelancers, which is the next Crossroads game after Forgotten Waters, yeah. I actually got to play like an entire... I don't want to call it... I guess it was a campaign. It was a campaign with Emily, Jeff, and Jamie. And while this game was not only a whole bunch of fun to play as a group, and it almost felt like a mini like one-off D&D game to play as a group in one sitting, it was entirely hilarious. The app and the narrative that they carved out was just one that had me rolling every single time, and then it encouraged it out of players as well. Like there was at one point, Jeff, being a bard, was encouraged to sing a song to encourage this person that we had just found.
Love that.
And it told him some key words, and based off of his performance, the rest of the group got to decide how well he did, and we put that in the app, and it changed like some type of bonus that Jeff got. One might have been it was cringy, one might have been it was really good, and but it's just, it's silly and it's fun and it's a good time, and so far like Freelancers is really impressing me.
So as someone who has played the original, which is Forgotten Waters, are you more interested in Forgotten Waters now that you've played Freelancers and know kind of what Forgotten Waters is about? Does Forgotten Waters entice you more?
I will tell you that after playing Freelancers, I immediately ordered a copy of Forgotten Waters.
Okay, nice. Forgotten Waters is great. It's one of those games that I played it, I think, just twice, and it's not the shortest game. Like, each thing takes a few hours, at least it did for our first time and second time. And then, like, I let someone borrow it. They ended up loving it. I ended up just selling it to them, and I never reacquired it. But, like, I really liked the first couple of plays of that, so I'm excited that you are going to be having a copy as well, and Freelancers, if that interests me too. But I remember loving Forgotten Waters, thinking it was hilarious. The narrative that they had you follow was just really ingenious, in my opinion, and like lighthearted, but also like you were invested. So
I think it's perfect for our group. Like, I hope that it gets here in time for Josh to play, and like if us like four with Kenny like all played, I think it would be
it lends itself to like light role playing and stuff, but it like eggs you on. So like you don't have to be like the creative genius, you just have to roll with it. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Another one that I have snagged off of the shelf, and this is a slight disclaimer in that I do a little bit of live streaming work for Alley Cat Games, but Rome in a Day, and I also think Ammon Ray, which is an awesome game. It's a 20th anniversary, I think, of a Reiner Knizia classic. I never played the original, but I've played Ammon Ray on board game or on Tabletop Simulator for our live streams. Love it. Very much looking forward to Ammon Ray and Rome in a Day. We're both big fans of Rome in a Day. It's such like a condensed 20 to 30 minute experience while also still being pretty heavy strategy and accommodating up to 4-5 players. So big fans of these. Slight asterisk in that I do a little bit of work for them, but they're great people. They make great games. Definitely check it out.
I don't. He doesn't. And I can say that it's incredible. It's actually one of my favorites from this year. I don't have a lot of I Split You Choose games, and if you are into that concept, absolutely check it out. If you're also into King Domino or Acropolis, absolutely check it out. So.
Yeah, and then Ammon Ray is like a bidding game where you're bidding on areas, and I don't know how to explain it all succinctly, but super fun game. And I've only played the 2-player version, which I believe Alley Cat actually like worked with Reiner to create, because I don't think there was a 2-player option in the original game. So like I've only played what they've built on top of. I'm very much excited to actually try the full game with 3, 4, 5 people. Ammon Ray is awesome in my experience. Really looking forward to the actual copy of it, not playing on Tabletop Simulator.
All right. Are we on our last ones? How many do you have?
I have one left.
You have one left? Okay. Should I only have one left too?
You can have however many you want.
I'm gonna have two. I'm gonna have two.
Okay.
Left. Two left.
That's
here.
Fine.
One, I'm actually like genuinely like this is like 2 games in one.
Okay.
At the same time, and it's from the same publisher, so I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
But these are Funko's versions of horror films that are actually really, really fun. So one of them is Scream.
Oh,
which
yeah.
looks really fun. But then Tablenauts, we love the movie Scream. But then on top of that, they have what I was just checking out before this, and immediately was like, I gotta throw this on my list, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which looks super fun.
Have you seen that?
I've seen most of
the original,
the
OG.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's terrifying. It's really scary.
I just watched it for the first time the other day, and like, it's so low budget that it works like so. It's so grimy and real, and you're just like, oh my god, like, yeah, I could see that being me. Get bonked up outside the head, drug off, and chainsawed to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a Wednesday here in Kentucky.
You hear chainsaws going off all the time. Nobody would even bat an eye.
Yeah, not a lick. Yeah.
But both of these games, I think, have potential to be really fun. And Prospero
and it
Hall,
meshes the board game box office Tablenauts brand. We love that.
Like, we gotta try them. They're almost necessities at this point to try before Halloween, so we can talk about them maybe 100%. On the podcast or on the channel or both. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to at least trying. And hopefully at least one of them will be really good. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. For me, the last game we have here, which we have played together, though an extremely oversized version
my gosh, it's so good!
Is Mission Control Critical Orbit, and this is by Third World Studios, or... Yeah, I put World Series. I must have had baseball on the mind.
World Series of board games.
Third World Studios. And we had the opportunity to play this with Jeff and Jamie at PAX. And Jamie's actually working with Third World Studios. So you'll see her at the booth if you want to go check out Mission Control Critical Orbit. But this is like a cooperative, real-time, roll and write. Keep talking and nobody explodes.
Yeah.
Which is like the game about defusing a bomb, and so like one person's reading instructions to other people, and in this game there's basically, at least in the 4-player game, 3 people that are all tasked with very specific things, and then one person who is like the commander, and they're like, you need to do this. And
I think like the theming of it is similar to Don't Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. It's because this astronaut stranded.
Yeah.
Which automatically makes me think of my favorite movie of all time, which is The Martian. But like it is, I got to be that person, and you guys were helping me and yelling and screaming, and it was so fun.
Yeah. It's a blast. I'm very much excited to try out like the actual copy. Love this game. Love Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. So like that mesh worked really well for me. Very much excited to check it out.
Yeah, it was almost like a roll and write, but rowdy and cooperative.
Yeah.
If that's
instead of quiet and contemplating.
Like everybody's looking down, nobody's really doing anything together. But like what I do on my board is completely different than what he does, and when I do something, it affects him.
Yeah.
And like it was intuitive. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it felt like you're just kind of like juggling plates, and we're like throwing plates back and forth. Like, Julian, here's 2 plates, and you're like, oh, that's 2 more plates. I gotta figure out what to do. It's just like, take these plates. I don't know. I thought it was great. Very much looking forward to playing it again.
All right, and then my number 1 should come as
I didn't rank mine, by the way.
Oh, I didn't really either. I didn't have them ranked, but I kind of did. This one would be on my number 1.
Now we can say our top 10 or something like that, and more people might click. Like ranking the best games at Gen Con.
Yeah.
We won't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we will.
My number 1 should come as at no surprise, because the original game is actually still in my top 20. I think it's still in my top 10. But I love Sagrada. And Sagrada Artisans is going to be available at Gen Con, and I think I'm going to finally...
I saw that, but I wasn't sure. I know how much you love Sagrada, but I know you didn't like back it when it was available on crowdfunding. So I knew it was like available, but I was just like, I guess Doolin just doesn't care anymore.
I do. It was one of those things. I think I had just spent a lot of money around the time that the Kickstarter came out, and I was like, I know this is going to be widely popular. Sure. And it didn't look like there was anything on the Kickstarter that was like, if you don't back it, you're not going to get this. So I was just like, I'll just wait. And I think now's the time, because I've heard really good things. I've heard that there are a lot of like secrets that get revealed and add to the game and make it more and more interesting. And like even there's a little bit of a story involved, which is weird but like cool. Like,
is it cooperative or competitive?
It is competitive, I believe, and it actually has similar vibes to cartographers, where you're like drawing your own thing. So like you're gonna have colored pencils, and you're gonna be like highlighting and making your own sketches. And I'm into that. Like I think that sounds fun. But I'm very ready to try this game, and Sagrada, the base game, with the 5 to 6 player expansion, is one of the best games, I think, of that genre that you can play.
One of the worst named expansions.
Yeah.
Like, I never bought that expansion. It's like, I don't need to play with more people. But apparently it's like a necessity amongst Sagrada favorites.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why they named it that, but I love what it added. Like the pools that get passed around. Great.
They could have just called it Sagrada Pools. Probably wouldn't have done any better. Probably not.
I don't know.
Thanks for watching. It's glad to be back. It's good to be back. I'm glad we're back. I said two things in one there.
I am too. I mean...
You have more?
I have...
I don't.
Well, let's just end it.
No. Ramble. Ramble on.
Some that I'm interested in, but I don't think they're going to be available. Wild Child West by the creator of Dune Imperium.
Paul Dennen. And made by Direwolf Games.
A game called Inheritors that is like a card game.
Inheritor?
That looks really, really... Inheritors? I hardly know her. License to Grill by Greater Than Games. It sounds so... Okay, it sounds ridiculous.
That's such a you game.
It's a bunch of people, like parents, grilling out barbecues, and you like only have enough space to cook certain things at a time. It's by the creators. It's by the creators of Spirit Island. Okay.
Kinda.
So like,
Greater
does that
Than
help?
Games isn't Spirit Island anymore.
Okay. Well,
It was.
It was, but not anymore. They fumbled that. But
that's why they're making the grill.
But
game.
License to Grill could be the new Spirit Island.
What about
you heard it here first?
The second one, which will be kind of like Cannibal. It's Grill Bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that. Like a horror themed
exactly.
expansion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Bill came uninvited, so you slashed him up.
I don't want to end one License
Feeding them to your guests.
So if you're there, a game that we definitely have already played and will be demoed there, and you should absolutely check it out, is Terrascape.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is one of our favorites that we've played this year, but absolutely great game.
I'll jump in. Ice Makes Games also has another game that was crowdfunded, but I believe is available, I think, to purchase, but I could be wrong. And it's Island Something Shiny, I think is the name of it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are talking about how good that's going to be.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Isla and Something Shiny?
I think so. EILA and Something
throw it on
Shiny.
the screen.
Yeah, and I think I think it's meant for like 6+ age group or maybe 8+.
Okay.
But like it's got a little more that doesn't just make it centered for kids. But as someone with a 5-year-old, I'm like, hey, that game looks pretty. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's good. So, and it's Ice Makes, and I definitely like to support them after the incredible success that Terrascape was for us here at Tablenauts. Yeah. So I don't think it's available to buy, Terrascape that is, but you should definitely check it out. And maybe buy Island Something Shiny if you see it there.
And then lastly, I'm going to say Weirdwood Manor, which is a game that seems really, really, really interesting.
That sounds familiar, but
it in the vein of Terrascape is going to have this giant mansion type thing, and even like the whole board shifts with like this clockwork thing. So think the clockwork game that we've been playing,
City of the Great Machine.
City of the Great Machine. Like all of it's very, very big. But the idea is a group of people versus a monster who has taken over this manor, and you got to go in and face his minions and face him, and like it just seems really, really neat, almost like Stranger Things-esque. But I'm very down to play Weirdwood Manor.
And then because we just mentioned it to cap off the video, it was available at PAX, but I assume it's going to be available at GenCon. City of the Great Machine by Crowdy Games. We just recently played our production copy. Still a huge fan of that game. We already own it, so I'm not going to try and buy it myself. But for you looking to purchase games at Gen Con, City of the Great Machine is an incredible one verse mini game, hidden movement game, kind of like that. And though I haven't watched it, no pun included, did a recent video in which I think they raved about it. So definitely go check that out if that game interests you in the slightest.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think that's it for us here today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Find us in the halls at Gen Con if you're there. We'd love to say hello. I don't know how much free time we're going to have, but I mean, stop by, say hi. Maybe we'll have time to play a game. Huh?
I keep booking us things.
Yeah,
not him. He doesn't have to. I keep saying, Max, if you want.
I've booked myself one thing, and it's Oppenheimer in 70mm IMAX at the Indiana State Museum, and everyone else is making fun of me. Yes, that's you, Devin, and you, Alex, and you, Doolin, and you, Jeff, and the list can go on. But I'm excited about it. But thanks for watching. We hope to see you at Gen Con, or live vicariously through us if you are unable to make it. We'll post some thoughts after Gen Con, our haul, of course, and then we look forward to getting back into more regularly scheduled uploads for you. And thank you for bearing with us through the month of July, as things were incredibly hectic for us.
Yeah, we're really sorry about the
I'm not.
inconsistency.
No,
I am. You don't have to be. It was my fault, but like I'm really pumped to get back. Yeah. And I think Gen Con's gonna be a good
kind of
exciting way to start.
reigniting the lost
It always
love.
is.
Yeah. Not lost love, just forgotten. We've had no time for games lately. Like No Time for Die is another movie crossover that